Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Night here once again. Let's talk about mid-card titles. So, mid-card titles, for a while in the sport of pro wrestling, have been meant to give some of the mid-card guys something to do when they're not quite ready for the World Championship. And in some cases, the mid-card titles has even outshined the World Championship, but not quite as of late. At least not on all fronts. So the two main wrestling companies I watch nowadays is WWE and AEW, and for as much as the WWE and AEW fans love to fight on social media and stuff, which is always just so fantastic. As much as they like to fight, though, there's a lot of similarities between WWE and AEW. Some on purpose, some maybe not so. But one thing I've noted that's kind of similar to them is the mid-card title situation. And basically put, at least for the men's side, the women's championships are, that's a whole different story for another time, and perhaps for another time. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments if you are. But for the men's titles, for the men's mid-card titles, with there being about two apiece, also not including the tag titles, which is another discussion for another time. But nevertheless, as the men's singles mid-card titles, there's two apiece, not counting the FTW championship, but there's about two apiece that are prominently, majorly featured on television for both WWE and AEW, and so four in total. And what I've noticed is that when it comes to the two titles for each, there's one that's booked really strongly, really well. One that consistently has good just everything, and then one that's kind of in the slump. So there's essentially one title that they don't care about, and then another title that they really care about. So we might as well start with WWE because that's where I watch that's what I grew up watching the most, and probably what I watch the most. Even though I don't always watch the weekly programmings, but still I kind of keep up and stuff. Starting with the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of people feel like, and I have to agree, Gunther might be one of, if not the best Intercontinental champions that we've had in a while. Like, his reign as Intercontinental Champion has been booked pretty much to perfection. He feels like a big deal. It already helps that Gunther is an absolute beast in the ring, and we've known this since the hardcore fans have known this since before he came to NXT and NXT UK. But for those who watched NXT and NXT UK, you definitely know that. And Gunther is a man who, when people say he definitely is a man who feels kind of naked without having championship gold around his waist, that's definitely true, because him with the Intercontinental Championship just looks and feels so right, and he's well on his way to breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record. Although we're almost in a corner with Drew McIntyre, but I think there might be a workaround. But I'll talk about that at some other point. But the way Gunther has been handled as Intercontinental Champion, him putting on Match of the Year candidates against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, at WrestleMania as well. Even having a short match on the card with like Matt Riddle at Money in the Bank, which I reviewed, so if you haven't already, go check that out. But even a match like that, still really good stuff. So Gunther as Intercontinental Champion and the Intercontinental Championship both look fantastic. Then there's the United States Championship over on SmackDown, and Austin Theory's reign as the United States Championship, which doesn't have the best response. It's very telling when Austin Theory apparently can't have a single clean win as solo champion, and with the United States Championship. I mean, even Roman Reigns, they had to throw in at least one or two clean wins. But Austin, apparently, he got none. And I'm talking about his current run, the one that started at Survivor Series, which made it kind of pointless as to why he had to lose his Money in the Bank contract on the United States Championship. You just got to pop it on him anyway. But nevertheless, Austin Theory, as U.S. champion, isn't quite getting the reception that a lot of people would have hoped, and it isn't as good as a lot of people would have hoped. It honestly feels like they don't really know what to do with him as champion, which is a shame because Austin Theory, he's talented in the ring. And like Austin Theory, hey, I know people like to pretend Austin Theory sucks, but Austin Theory, he's talented in the ring. He's definitely got the talent. He's a young, talented guy, able to put on good matches. But when it comes to the United States Championship, a lot of people kind of feel like it's an afterthought. There's not really, and I think that's the main distinction between the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship, is that with the Intercontinental Championship, there's a plan, there's an end goal. Hunter breaking the record, while in the meantime looking like an absolute beast, an absolute formidable monster. And whoever does eventually take the Intercontinental Championship off of him will definitely have their stock elevated. It kind of similar to Roman, but obviously not quite as much because one's a mid-card title and one's the World Championship. But yeah. So Gunther, there's a clear plan. There's a goal, but with Austin, it feels kind of aimless. And the fact that Austin lost his Money in the Bank and contract, cashing out the United States Championship to lose just to win it back, definitely also hurt not just him and not just Money in the Bank's credibility, but even the United States Championship's credibility. But a lot of people may get their wish because as perhaps the plan, and this is just kind of speculation, and the plan may be for LA Knight to finally get some championship gold around his waist on the main roster, or besides just the $1 million championship that he had in NXT. But the plan perhaps is for LA Knight to swoop in and take the championship off of Austin Theory. But yeah, it's disappointing to see because, like I said, Austin Theory, he's talented. Promo host, not bad, but it feels like they don't really know what to do with him with the United States Championship. But now we move into AEW territory. And like I mentioned, one championship that's booked not as strongly, and then one championship that's booked really strongly. So the one that's booked strongly is the AEW International Championship, with its holder Orange Cassidy pretty much putting on excellent matches while being an international champion. And like Orange Cassidy, and it's something like him putting on fantastic matches for a championship and really elevating the championship stock and his own stock in AEW is not something you expect from that gimmick. Orange Cassidy's gimmick is essentially he doesn't care and then he really cares. Of course, the King of Slaw style of being kind of lazy, treating things like whatever, and then when he gets going, he really gets going. And like that gimmick is pulled off to perfection. And Orange Cassidy, he definitely has helped elevate the International Championship, which is still a relatively new title, only being introduced last year, but has already been elevated. It with Orange Cassidy pretty much like breaking himself week after week, mounting injuries and everything. And, at least in storyline, I don't know if any of those are legit. Hunting the injuries such as the hand and then the back and stuff, all to keep the championship, trying to retain it by hook or by crook. Almost desperate to retain the championship, helping him show that the championship is prestigious, that it's prized, that he really wants to hang on to it. That type of booking and that type of storytelling is fantastic for Orange Cassidy, and if and when he eventually loses the International Championship, if whoever he loses it to, Orange Cassidy may be viable for or a shot, possibly even at the AEW World Championship. I know, that may seem light years away from where we are right now with his gimmick and him kind of being firmly the mid card, but after the title reign, it's a possibility. So his championship reign there has been booked superbly well. And then there's the TNT Championship. The TNT Championship, it essentially what he was founded by Cody Rhodes, obviously way before he left for WWE again, but established pretty much to be like the mid card title, and it's had some ups and downs. But the thing I feel like that really hurt the TNT Championship is when they do like the hot potato. And the hot potato when it comes to championship is something that a lot of people loathe, myself included, where it's like, oh, now it's gonna go to this person, oh, but now it's gonna go to this person, oh, now it's gonna go to this person, oh, but it's gonna go back to this person, and then it's gonna go back to this person. Like all of that is annoying. Now, inherently, I'm not against like people holding a title multiple times. I'm not against that at all. People holding like the Intercontinental Championship multiple times, United States Championship multiple times, multiple time World Champions, and multiple time TNT champions, stuff like that, multiple time women's champions, multiple time tag team champions, and not against that at all. But where things start to fall apart is when they happen so frequently in the span of just like a short amount of time. An example I can give of this is when Wardlow was TNT champion. It looks like for now they may keep it off of Wardlow. It looks like they're firmly going to go with the whole Luchasaurus as TNT champion, and Luchasaurus almost as like a surrogate TNT champion for Christian Cage. But what they did with Wardlow in the championship, where Wardlow would lose it to somebody just to get it immediately back. When he lost it to Samoa Joe, just to get it immediately back. When he lost it to Powerhouse Hobbs, just to get it immediately back. Like what's the point then? Like, hey, if you're going to take the title off of him, why not keep it off him for a little bit? Like I said, I'm not against people holding on to it multiple times. If Wardlow won it down the line, like maybe months or possibly even years down the line, I don't think I'd be that upset with it. Even weeks, while a bit of a gamble, maybe you could get away with it if the story was told well. But the fact that it would be taken off of him just to immediately go back onto him just a matter of like days later, that's annoying and that's frustrating. And like then it's like, what's the point of taking the title off of him? And like, what? Like, it almost seemed like they were afraid to take it off of Wardlow. And like I said, not the first time they've done the whole hot potato thing in AEW, who with the TNT Championship, but that whole hot potatoing, it's gonna go from this person, this person, this person. Like, so far there's only been, by comparison, there's only been two international champions. That's Pac and Orange Cassidy. Pac, of course, the inaugural international champion back when it was the All Atlantic Championship, and then lost it to Orange Cassidy. But comparing it to that, at having the TNT Championship kind of like bobbing around between people get sick of that. And AEW, like I said, not the first people to do it. Remember, they did hit in WWE in 2016 for the Raw Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, which it just especially hurt because that was like a new title. Like they retired the Divas Championship, introduced the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, and then they have that hot potatoing stuff where Sasha Banks would win it on like a random episode of Raw, and then Charlotte would lose it at the pay-per-view just so you could say Charlotte was undefeated at pay-per-views. It was like that type of stuff people get sick of and people get annoyed by. It's like, what's the point of taking it off of the person and just to like pop it back on them? Like, hey, Samoa Joe, him winning the TNT Championship, I would like to see him hold on to it for a little bit, a little while longer. Or Powerhouse Hobbs, a lot of people actually want Hobbs to hold on to it for a while. Powerhouse Hobbs, and this was a little while after the whole Team Taz breakup, but Powerhouse Hobbs holding it for a while. Seeing some of the people he could challenge for it, like that would have been cool. well, hopefully it's redeemed now that Luchasaurus slash Christian Cage has like the title. Well, hopefully that kind of redeems it a little bit. But that whole hot potato nonsense, and people weren't a fan of. I definitely was a fan of, and a lot of people definitely weren't fans of at all. Like the whole, well, it's gonna go from this person, this person, this person. So yeah. So how interesting though, how that dynamic works between two companies where you have one mid card title that's booked really well and another mid card title that's not booked as well. Oh, and obviously that's not what we want. We want both mid card titles to be elevated, and I think it especially hurts with like WWE because it's like it's not quite like AEW where they do have Collision and Dynamite, but Collision, and while they're kind of trying to establish it as its own brand, isn't quite there yet. So to where, or you could possibly have like maybe the TNT Championship stays on Dynamite, maybe the International Championship stays on Collision or something like that. That's not in place yet. But in WWE's case, the United States Championship is on SmackDown, and then the Intercontinental Championship is on Raw. Originally, it was swapped up to where the Intercontinental title was on SmackDown and the U.S. title was on Raw because Austin Theory and Gunther were on Raw and SmackDown respectively. But obviously with the Superstar shakeup this year, they swapped brands. But hopefully we can go back to having both titles be booked and represented fairly because, and that's for both WWE and AEW. Because even though AEW's newer, or the championships need some lineage and need some credibility, and so getting the credibility back would be nice. And then WWE, these are titles that have been around for a while, who not the first time that their credibility has been like lost, but hopefully they get their credibility back. At least the United States Championship. And it's not the first time. I'm like they almost fooled us when they tried having us care about the U.S. title again when they played the promos of like guys like Dusty Rhodes and stuff holding the U.S. title. But yeah, so hopefully we go back to having that prestige for the U.S. title, Intercontinental title. Whoever's in charge of booking that, keep doing what you're doing, and whoever's in charge of booking the International Championship, keep doing what you're doing. But TNT Championship, not Intercontinental, United States Championship, hopefully those can be booked better. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this discussion. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on everything I talked about. And yeah, so how do you feel about the championship booking? Do you think it could be improved? Do you think it doesn't have to be improved? Let me know in the comments. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.